Hey guys, you know, it's late afternoon here and I was gonna sit around and be lazy, but I decided, hey, why not do a video on, well, you guessed it, vehicles. And I want to talk about introducing vehicles and how some of the organizations approach them. The first thing I want to say is, long before I move on to vehicle searches with any of the dogs in my scent work classes, regardless of what the organization may be, I make sure that the dog understands odor. Now, this is going to be more for the civilian folks. I do approach a little bit differently for the law enforcement dogs. However, if the dogs understand odor and the intensity for the search is there, that's what I focus on in the beginning. And I slowly start introducing other things. So for instance, the generic term for vehicles in a lot of these organizations is anything on two wheels. So this bicycle, by the time I get to where I'm doing vehicle searches consistently, my dogs have already seen this bicycle and they've already seen this power wheel. And I will introduce these things whether it's in exterior searches. I like to move my containers outside and do different size containers, bags, mix it up, throw some boxes, throw some toys. You guessed it, bicycles. But my dogs have already seen these vehicles long before they get to this one. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is make sure you understand the rules of the organization you're competing in, because it could really come back and bite you. A couple weeks ago, I was competing in a CPE trial, and I'd been working with a friend. We were running scenarios. They do UKC. Their vehicles level 1 are just front bumpers. CPE looks very much like this, and I did actually have a bicycle, and I want to say it was a lawnmower. There was 3 vehicles, but I forgot 2 important things. 1, the rules of CPE level 1 can be front and back bumper, and 2, to always trust my dog. So while the wind's blowing, it's blowing from the front of the vehicle, blowing the odor right into the dog, and she started really working and showed a body language change at the back of the vehicle. And then when I realized, oh, both front and back are part of this organization, and I went around and she alerted within 1 second once she came around the front of the vehicle, I'd already cost myself 30-40 seconds of time, and that was the difference in first and third place. So always know the rules of the organization you're competing in, and make sure that you don't hinder your dog. Because at the end of the day, most of the time when there's a mistake made in competition, we're the ones that made the mistake. So I've introduced these vehicles prior to this one. I don't make a big deal about a vehicle. I take my scent vessel, whatever it is, most of these have earth magnets or a very strong magnet, and I will literally start out at the front of the vehicle. So if I put it in there and I bring my dog out, real simple, I'll present it, I'll cue it, everything is going to be the same. Whether it is containers, my dog, tight leash, they see the ball, my dog is ball rewarded. I'll let them see it, I'll tease them up, cast them out. After I cue them up, the same thing happens, containers, interior, exterior, vehicles. So if my dog was here, and I'm not using a dog so you can get a little bit better visual on what I'm doing, I would introduce the dog, same thing, cue them up, send them out, the dog would come, alert, I would use my marker, yes, and my ball would come down by odor and I would tug and interact. Same concept if I'm doing food. Marker, yes, and reward at source. I prefer interaction at source. Now some of you folks, you'll be different. You may do an indirect reward method where you click and the dog comes back to you. You may bounce the ball off the vehicle. I'm not here to debate which method is best. I'm just saying, hey, this is how I introduce vehicles. So once I go from this part of the vehicle, then I will move down to maybe underneath here. Give the dog a quick reward, and everything is done in a very easy fashion. Then I'll do behind the wheel, underneath the Nerf bar. Very simple hides as I work my way around the car. Then the gas tank, the rear bumper, the exhaust pipe, and everything is going to be very easy, quick reward, high value. If I'm doing food, it's going to be jackpot. Yes, yes, yes. You know, I'm going to make it, I'm going to build value to this. So as the drive comes down, you can literally see the dogs. A lot of times when somebody says, man, my dog false alerted, it must have been some distractionary odor. A lot of times it's not false alerting on the odor. A lot of times when the dog becomes challenged, it becomes too hard, the drive comes down, and the want for that interaction, whether it's that reward, whether it's food or tug, they will revert back to that final alert because they know that that is what gives them the interaction. So I like to keep, especially in the beginning, everything very high value. If I'm using a toy, I'm gonna tug, and it's gonna be just a lot of little quick tugs at the source of this odor. If I'm using food, yes, and I'm gonna be just a lot of food right there, multiple times, building value to this search, especially if it's new. I like to slowly introduce everything. You'll see in some other videos, especially as we progress with the Patreon page and some of these other topics, everything is introduced by twos or by ones. So if I'm introducing buried hides, I start off with 2 boxes. I don't overwhelm my dog. I want to build confidence and value. And that's the whole goal for me with a young dog, is to slowly introduce these things, and I don't rush anything. I don't rush anything at all. I hope you like this video. Hope you got something from it. I wanted to just real quickly touch on vehicles because it seems to be a topic that some people struggle with. I've got some other upcoming scent work videos, especially one where we do a modification of the scent tubes, and I know a lot of you like the scent tube video, and we're going to talk about how I introduce buried hides. Don't really want to make this a scent work specific channel. I think that's better equipped for Patreon, so the people that follow scent work can jump over there. But regardless, guys, I hope you like what you've seen. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content.